Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the Celtic Forever podcast. We're here tonight to talk about Sunday's game against Livingston at Celtic Park. 2:30 kick-off. The game is on Viaplay, I'm sure. I've got John here tonight. How's things tonight, John?
You all right, Xander? How's things?
I'm okay, John. I'm up north again, just doing a wee job for my old man up here. Freezing up here, so it is. But I'm okay. I'm looking forward to the football on Sunday because it feels like it's been a wee while since we last kicked a bod, isn't it?
Well, it has been a while, a full week without any action. It's no good, is it? It's soul destroying, especially when you're on the back of a defeat and you're waiting to get started again. It's a long wait, isn't it, Xander?
It is a long wait, John, as you say, after the defeat, and it wasn't any ordinary defeat. And funny talking about that, John, right? I was listening to I wanted to hear the results today from the football today. I put on that Radio Scotland. I don't normally do that, but I put on Radio Scotland because I'm up here. I've no internet or anything like that. So I put on the radio, and this Radio Scotland, the first thing I heard, they were talking about the referees and the VAR, right? And this, I don't know if you know the wee, I don't even know who it is. It's the wee guy, it's the wee Hearts guy on Radio Scotland.
I know you're talking. I can't mind his name. It's been years since I listened to Radio Scotland, Xander.
The wee Hearts guy, and the other one was Michael Stewart. The two of them were talking about the Hearts game last week, and the wee Hearts guy, I can't remember his name, says that it was a foul to Hearts in the build up to Celtic's penalty. I just started killing myself laughing. I didn't know this was the views that these people were having, John, because it was so blatantly a penalty. And then they were saying it was a penalty to Hearts at the other end. It was just total bias, John. So that's the kind of views that the Scottish press are having on the game last week.
That was a penalty to Hearts?
Aye. That's the wee Hearts guy. I can't remember his name on Radio Scotland. He's on it all the time. But Michael Stewart, he disagreed, to be fair to him. You know, he said that it wasn't a penalty and he said it wasn't a sending off. But these are the views that are getting fed across the Scottish press and the Scottish media, John.
That guy's, I don't know what game he was watching, but anybody, even Rangers fans, would look at that and say, that's not a penalty. When the ball comes down from behind you and hits you in the horn, when you don't know where the ball is, how can that be deemed a penalty? Is he just looking at that from the point, it's a handball, therefore it's a penalty?
He's just a Hearts man, John, isn't he? That's what he is. I'll put his name up on the screen there.
What an absolute clown, by the way.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and I'm thinking to myself, they're obviously watching a different game, because it was clearly never a penalty to Hearts. It was clearly, the one that got me was the Celtic penalty, saying it was never a penalty. How can you say that wasn't a penalty? He's dragged back inside the box. In fact, he's lucky enough to get a red card.
Aye. What did they say about the Cochrane's challenge on Yang? Is that all right? Aye, that was all right, that challenge. Worthy is just playing on.
Well, that was the mention, John, obviously. But what he did say, that the Celtic's penalty, I know we'll get into the Livingston game in a wee minute, but the penalty to Celtic against Hearts last week was a foul on Cochrane. I don't know. I thought it was funny and strange that's the kind of views that are coming across in the Scottish media, John. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's move on, John. Competition, last chance, everybody. This is your last chance to enter this week's competition to win the beautiful, stunning, outstanding, once-in-a-lifetime Celtic Forever pens. Look at that. Look at them, John. Outstanding. They're absolutely... We're giving these away, remember. We're not selling them. We're giving them away. And all you have to do is tell us what minute you think the Livingston versus Celtic game, or Celtic versus Livingston game, first goal will be scored. So we're looking for the minute and the second of the very first goal. 5 guesses each, everybody, and leave your guesses in the comments. This is your last chance.
Aye. Is there a shortage of stamps in Glasgow just now?
There must be a delay with the mail. That's what I can say.
I still know that. The letterbox has been quiet for days.
You've been sitting waiting in the letterbox.
I'm only kidding, by the way. No, don't give me a pen. Keep that for the guys the loyal podcast people, and obviously the newcomers. You're all welcome to enter the competition.
Right.
Great prize, free gifts. What more can you ask for? Like I keep saying, if you want to pay for your prizes and your Patreons and all that, go to another podcast. I'm sure they'll be happy to take your money.
Yeah, that's it. And your pen will be coming soon, John. All kidding aside. Anyway, let's get into some news before the Livingston game, the build up to the Livy game on Sunday. Just very quickly, John. Bernaby and Abada both left the club. Bernaby, I thought he was a wee bit unlucky at Celtic, John, but Abada as well. His head was everywhere before he left. But he scored plenty of goals against the Rangers. So two half decent players no longer with us, John.
I'll not miss Abada. He didn't want to play for Celtic, but in the same breath, he was a great wee player when he was on his match. You know, Xander, he was a great wee player. Great wee winger. Although I think he was predominantly a striker, Abada. I think he would have done a great job up front for Celtic, but he didn't want to play for the club, so cheerio. Bernaby, the last two games he played when Greg Taylor was injured, I thought he was outstanding. Man of the match in the two games he played.
As I said, John, I just thought he didn't get much of a chance. Any chance he did get, he didn't really perform, I suppose, at the start of his career at Celtic. But as you say, the last few games there, he done okay, didn't he, with Taylor injured?
Aye, absolutely, he did, Xander. I thought it was man of the match, the two games. No, maybe no man of the match, but he put in good 8.5 out of 10 performances.
Yeah.
You know, he was a solid wee player. He was brilliant. He was really good going forward. Aye, well, I'm kind of sad wee Bernaby's left because I think he was just starting to look like a player.
Yeah, I think Brendan's starting to clear out, John.
Aye, I think so. I feel bad for Brendan missing the games, you know, suspended. I feel really bad for him. I mean, it's all right, the SFA to treat Celtic like that, do what they want to them, and if somebody speaks out about it, they won't stand for it, you know. They won't stand for that with any club speaking out against referees, but especially Celtic, Xander, they can't wait. They could have overturned that red card. It wasn't a red card. There's no way on earth that was a red card. And we get back to all the challenges on Celtic player. We can name them all again. Joe Hart, that was a red card. Fair enough there. Kyogo, Alistair Johnston. Who was the other ones that get booted in the head? Liam Scales.
Yeah, there's been more than that, John. There's so many that you can't even mention them all. But you're right, and Brendan's going to be missing the Glasgow derby, John. So that's no great news, is it?
No, it's no great news, but where's the consistency for the SFA? Because the ones on Celtic players were 100 times worse. 100 times worse. And the players weren't even spoken to for it. They just get away with it. You can do what you want to Celtic players now. Again, as hard as you like with a challenge, and nothing's going to happen to you if it's against Celtic.
Yeah. And they wonder the SFA are, you know, dishing out these hefty punishments to Celtic players and managers because they must be listening to Radio Scotland and believing that everything's, you know, everything Celtic get is wrong and every decision that goes for Celtic's wrong as well. But, you know, that's what I heard today in that Radio Scotland was unbelievable. I mean, I never listened to any of the media stuff, John. That was the first time in ages. So, yeah. So the SFA is the same. They must be hearing the same stuff that I heard today. But anyway, John, we're just going to get on with it. That's all we can do. Moving on, McGregor and Hatate, John, both back after the international break. So that's a blow as well into missing these two. I know Hatate's been out for a while, but McGregor and Hatate, easy for me to say, both returned, John, after the international break.
Aye, it's always good news to hear Hatate coming back, but as I keep saying, how long is he going to last, isn't he? Spaghetti legs. You know what I mean? What a great player that he is. If he's going to play 4 or 5 games a season, we don't need a player like that at the club, Xander. It's just a pity that he's so injury prone because I love Hatate. I keep saying it, as you know, I think he's the best player in Scotland by a country mile. And the ability that guy's got, and he can't get expressing it because of injury. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to kick the ball this season. So looking at the games, both players are going to be missing, John. It's Livingston on Sunday, St Johnstone next week, and then the Livingston away game in the league. So Livingston, St Johnstone, Livingston is the 3 games. So all being well, should be okay, hopefully.
Hopefully, aye. Well, Tomoki, he does a great job in that Callum McGregor role, the holding role there, didn't he? I think Tomoki will do a good job in there for us. Captain in the team is going to be Carter Vickers, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, like Carter Vickers will be the captain. And talking about that, John, we'll get into the game for Sunday against Livingston. Let's get into it now. So, how do you think this game's going to pan out, John, after everything that happened last weekend? The players are going to be angry. Brendan's obviously not a happy man either. How do you think we'll come out against Livingston on Sunday, John? Do you think it'll be attack at home, Celtic Park? You know, these cup games can sometimes be a wee bit tricky.
Of course they can, aye. That's what I was going to say. It's a cup game, it's not a league game, so I don't know. We'll need to wait and see what Celtic turn up the Mora. Are they going to be carrying that anger for last week onto the Park the Mora? Well, you don't want Celtic players going out there angry, but you want them going out there with a mindset and a purpose that it's us against them now. That's the way it is. Celtic players, I'm sure they know that now. They're not just playing a team, they're playing everybody that's involved in that game, all the officials and all that, the VAR team. They're playing against a lot of them. And they've got to look at every game like that now. And that's no paranoia, that's facts. We've seen VAR last week in action cheating us twice. And you've seen the referee agreeing with it. So you're up against referees and you're up against whoever's in charge of VAR. So there's got to be a mindset the more. The only thing that's going to stop us is us being Celtic, I mean. So I don't want players going out there angry. I just want them going out there with the mindset nobody's going to stop us, Xander.
Yeah.
And we're going to, and that's for what I just says, that's the reasons why.
Yeah, and I agree, because we've got the ability there. We don't need to go out there angry. Just go out there and show your ability on the park. Put Livingston to bed. The earlier the better, I suppose, as well. But the game tomorrow, I don't know how it's going to pan out. It's, we win that game, we're into a semi-final, John. That's one way of looking at it, isn't it?
Well, this is it, aye. I think Celtic will win the game the more, as everything I've says about what Celtic need to do. I think Celtic will win the game the more. They've got to win it, because if they don't win this league, that's the only thing we're going to win this season. But that's just a fact.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, we certainly don't want to, because with Celtic in the cup right up until the final, it's still a chance of a double. And let's be honest, we've still got a chance of winning the cup and the league. It's very, very close. Obviously, we didn't want it to be this close. We've been the victims of our own mistakes, if you like, John. Haven't we? Every point we've dropped, it's been our own fault.
Aye, well, Celtic
apart from Hearts, John. Sorry, last week. Yeah, apart from that, yeah.
Aye, but look, there's been a lot of instances in games where you think these opposition players should be getting red cards. Probably 9 out of 10 of their games, you're thinking some of these players should be getting red cards, and they're not even getting spoken to. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So you've got to look at that side of it as well. There's a lot of dubious decisions, I'll just say, for the officials.
Yeah.
Letting players away with doing what they want to Celtic players. That's another side of the coin. But I don't know.
There's also been a lot of points where we've dropped this season, John. We have just been playing bad. Celtic. We're not deserved to win some of these games. A lot of draws at home, a lot of drop points at home. We've just not been good enough. But 10 games to go, John. We just need to put the foot down in every single game and get the win. And in the cup, the remaining 3 games in the cup as well, John. So 13 wins, we win a double.
Aye, well, this is it, isn't it? No overly optimistic, to be honest with you, about the leagues and with the way these officials are. Nothing to do with Celtic. I know we've not had the greatest season when it comes to the way Celtic have been playing, but we're 2 points behind the league. That's nothing. But the officials are starting to stamp their authority here, Xander. And it's blatantly obvious to see.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. All right, John. So we both think Celtic will come out and attack Livingston tomorrow. Obviously, they're going to have 11 men behind the ball for more or less the entire game, and hope it's still nothing each or 1-0 to Celtic with 10 minutes to go. That's what they'll be looking for. Obviously, Livingston, they're not in any great shape just now. I think they've like 6 defeats in a row, something like that. So we should be okay. So what do you think the lineup will be then, John? What's your 1 to 11 for Sunday?
Well, the usual Joe Hart, Liam Scales, Carter Vickers, Greg Taylor, Alistair Johnston, Centre Park, Iwata, Matt O'Reilly and Bernardo. Up front, Maida on the left, Ida through the middle, and it's not going to be Yang because he's suspended. So this is the one that we're kind of tricky one, isn't it? On the right, I don't know. He might play Palmer on the left and Maida on the right. Xander, I think that might be what he'll do.
Yeah, that sounds like an idea, doesn't it? The only other option you've got there is putting, what's his name, Kuhn on the right. But he's not exactly set the header alight since he came to Celtic. Early days, of course. My last lineup's similar to yours, John, but what I means is, well, actually, it's no somewhat different. I'm going to go the usual at the back, the usual back four. No, you need to mention them. That's the usual back four with Iwata in the holding role. Then I think he's going to put Matt O'Reilly in his usual position and further up. Then he's going to put Kyogo in there, John, just off the striker, I think. And he's going to play the two up front with Eder up front, Maida on the right, like you say, John, and Palmer on the left.
That was not that much different then, is it? One player.
No, well, it's different for your first one when you thought Maida was going to be playing on the left. But yeah, a couple of changes there. But we've not got a great choice to pick for just now, have we? Really, all these players suspended and injured and everything else.
No, what would you rather see? Would you rather see Maida on the right with Palmer on the left, or would you rather see Kuhn on the right with Maida on the left?
With Palmer on the left, John, definitely. With Maida on the right. That would be obviously Palmer's got to start hitting a bit of form because he's been off it for a wee while now, and he's actually not started the last 2 or 3 games either. So yeah, you don't know what he's going to do. You never know. He might play Kyogo on one of the wings. You never know. You just don't know. We're only guessing here, aren't we?
Well, that's it. We're only having a wee guess. It's just for the fun of the podcast. But I think either one of the two lineups is probably going to be pretty accurate, to be honest with you.
Yeah. There's the boy that's injured just now as well. We've not got great choices in centre half on the bench anyway. I think the only one we've got Welsh. Naroki, he's the one that's injured.
Naroki, aye. Well, let's just hope the full defence can make it through the game for 90 minutes, because I don't trust any of the other defenders really.
No. And obviously we've lost a left back as well, so we've only got the one left back at the club, John.
Aye, well, Liam Scales can play at the left.
He can, but he's never done it. He's never put him there, not once.
He's no played him there, but he can play there, so he could play Liam Scales on the left and possibly Welsh or Naroki in the middle with Carter Vickers. Don't know, maybe Carter Vickers and Welsh might work well, if he's got the big man beside him.
Mm-hmm.
Might give him a bit of confidence. When you're playing beside a really good player, it gives you a lot of confidence, Sander,
Yeah, that's it. And
so
Naroki, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how long his is. I think it was 4 weeks, but that was a couple of weeks ago. So he should be back around at the same time as McGregor and Hatate after the international break. So, okay, that covers the lineup. John, what's your score prediction then for Sunday?
4-0 Celtic.
4-0. Sounds confident. You've got to take into account who we're playing, haven't you, as well? So, yeah. 5-0, John. 5-0, I'm going to say. I think it'll be a walk in the park, if you like. Once we get that first goal, everything will open up, I think. And we'll put through a few past Livingston on Sunday, I think.
I certainly hope so, but score prediction is just off the top of the head, really, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I think Celtic are going to commit the more and put in a performance. We'll wait and see what happens. Of course, it could go totally pear-shaped. Who knows? We don't know. But
Yeah.
I think we'll come out there with a positive performance the Morazander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. All right, John. Glad to hear it. Before we move on to the comments, just a wee bit of news today. Aberdeen winning 3-1 today, John. But I think you said to me before we came on earlier that Neil Lennon's a favourite for the Aberdeen job. Is that right?
That's right, aye. Neil Lennon's is the favourite right now to land the Aberdeen job. Now, this is something I would love to see as more Celtic supporter managers in this league to give Rangers again, because I'm sick watching these teams no showing up against them, but when they play Celtic, they're flying into tackles and getting away with murder, basically. Where's that performance against Rangers? You just do not see it. And I want to start seeing that for teams now. Especially being the business end of the seasons, Ander, you know, when the teams need to fight for stuff, staying in the top 6, places in Europe, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to matter to them. As long as Rangers beat them, they don't care.
The perfect example was Hearts last week. You know, they could afford to drop their points against Rangers at Ibrox, John, that 5-0 thumping. He could afford to drop their points because he's sitting with like 12 points clear of the team behind him, and then put in a performance like that against Celtic. You know, that was totally, I don't care what anybody says, I don't care. That was 100% a set-up. 100% set-up. That was intentional to lie back against Rangers and put everything in against Celtic. But anyway, we've went over that, John, I suppose, haven't we?
Aye. I don't know. I was going to say people listening to us might say, listen to them, the paranoia, any Rangers fans listening, but it's no paranoia. We're seeing it with our own eyes. We're seeing it. Seeing as believing, as they say.
No, just watch the games and you'll see it. You'll see no effort at Ibrox. You'll see 100% effort at Tynecastle.
It's as simple as that, and it's not just Tynecastle. It's every team in the league, basically, apart from Aberdeen and Celtic that try against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Good luck to Celtic anyway, John, on Sunday. Looking forward to the game, as I said. Been a wee while since we saw Celtic in action. No midweek football there, so it's a long week. So 2:30. Remember, everybody, Celtic Park, full house hopefully on Sunday. And we'll move on to the comments, John, if you've got any for us.
Aye, and Motherwell tried against them as well, by the way, so well done, Motherwell. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be talking about a league fight now. We'd be talking about next season.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point, isn't it? So yeah, well done to Motherwell. It's Ibrox as well. You know what a show, what a performance for the lads to go to Ibrox there and show absolutely no respect to them and just put them in their place, basically. So that's what we're looking, as you say, John, for all the teams to do. You know, they try against us, so they should be trying against them as well.
Aye, exactly. Aye. Right. Anyways, and let's get on with just a few comments a day. Mad about football says all the more fuel for the fire. Well, that's what we're thinking about for the rest of the season, isn't it? A bit more fuel for the fire for the rest of the season. It is going to anger the whole Celtic team, the fans, the board, the lot. We've seen the cheating, the blatant cheating that's going on. It's unbelievable. And I think that's going to fire Celtic up.
Yeah, I think so as well, John. And it's you'll see the real Celtic when we come up against these teams in the top 6 at Ibrox, etc. Hearts at Celtic Park. You know, I think you mentioned it last week. You know, can't wait to play them again, John.
I can't wait to play it. Well done to Aberdeen today, by the way, beating Kilmarnock 3-1. That was a great result. And good luck to Neil Lynn. I hope he gets that Aberdeen job. I just thought I'd throw it in for good luck. I forgot to say well done to Aberdeen because we both like Aberdeen.
Yeah, well done to the Dons, and that's them into the semi-final as well. So they do give Rangers and Celtic a game, so that they're in there as well, John. I suppose they asked them already at Hampden, so well done to them.
Of course, and it's good to there's another blue nose at the league. Goodbye, Neil Warnock. Cheerio, ta-ta.
Okay, right. Yeah, good riddance. You done well winning your one game, but anyway, moving on, John.
Good game to win them anyway, wasn't it? It's placed in the semi-final, so that's good. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
Cheerio to Neil Warnock. Anyway, Colin Stewart said, Celtic have highlighted it irrespective of any punishment. It's angering, but nothing we didn't know is always there. Jockstein, who certainly wasn't brought up with our backgrounds, knew what the score was in Scotland. He knew Celtic had to beat teams well to negate their bias. And then he had these guesses.
Right.
What's
Do you know something, John? He's right. He's bang on again. He always has a good comment, that boy. But it isn't something we don't already know. We've known this for years. But it just seems to, I mean, for the last 10 seasons, we've been miles ahead in the league, right? And these decisions have still been there, but it doesn't matter because we're 15, 20 points clear. But because the league's so close this season and they're intentionally, not giving us penalties, sending players off, yeah, you can see it more clearly, John, when it's the league's closer, I think.
Oh, you can, I've been seeing it all season, Xander, with the tackles going in and Celtic players.
That's
I've
it.
been seeing it all season.
We've been saying it in every podcast.
For years, as far back as I can remember, it's been blatantly obvious that there's some kind of, I don't know, club going on there with these referees. I don't want to say the word Masonic, but I will. But there's something stinks with them. Always has done, Xander. And anybody that thinks different, get your blue specs off because you're no right in the head.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing with the comments. One club since 1888 says Kyogo keeping his best for Ibrox. It's a shame Naismith and Hearts in top 6. Well, that is a shame. It's a battle for the hoops and a team sent out to lie down v Sevco.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've been talking about, isn't it, John? It's I don't know if they play Hearts at Tynecastle or Ibrox, but it doesn't matter because they'll send their team out to lie down against Rangers. But we know that anyway, didn't we?
Aye. If it's at Ibrox or Tynecastle, if Hearts are already in Europe this season, next season, sorry, they'll sit back against them, so it doesn't matter where it is. But I used to wish Hearts well in Europe. I liked all the Scottish teams doing well in Europe. I'd get right behind every one of them, apart from Rangers, of course. But all the other teams always wished them well in Europe. But see, Hearts now, I hope they get annihilated early in Europe, or get to the group stage and get annihilated by every other team in it, because I can't stand them, Xander, after that. Yeah,
that was quite poor, wasn't it? Especially the last couple of games, John. But yeah, all right. But we know that. We do know that, John. It's they're going to, they'll be in Europe by the time they play Celtic and Rangers, John. But they'll still put in a battling performance against us. That might sound like paranoia, but it's the facts are there for all to see. Just watch the last 2 games. That's all I'll say.
Well, can't say any more than that. It's facts. Yeah. All the other teams aren't any better than Hearts anyway, so it doesn't really matter, apart from Motherwell and Aberdeen. What have I got here? We would never sell our club. It's going to be a tough month ahead now that Yang is suspended for 2 games and McGregor out for 3 weeks. And now our manager with a 3-match touchline ban it's outrageous and beaten is the one that should be in the dock.
Well, I think I mentioned it in the midweek pod, or was it last weekend after the game? I can't remember. That the first thing they'll do is give beating a top flight game, and the next day, John, he's announced. In fact, was the referee at the Aberdeen Kilmarnock game the day? I think he was. So there you go, John. He has that disgraceful performance on VAR, and they give him the highest game in our league today, and they give him that game. So that's basically a get it up you to Celtic, isn't it?
They don't care. They don't hide it. They know that everybody knows, and they're not hiding it. They don't really care. They're untouchable. Who have they got to answer to? Who have the SFA got to answer to for this? That's what you've got to ask. Who have they got to answer to for that? UEFA? I don't know. Who have they got to answer to? A referee went to watch a replay that any referee, any normal referee that looked at that would have went, not a penalty, not a red card, not even a yellow card, no contact. Seen a lot worse against Celtic. Nah, there's nothing in it. Let it go. No, he agrees with it. He thinks it's deemed a penalty and a red card.
Oh, that's it, John. It's it's still obviously rotten in the mind and the memory last weekend. It still hurts a bit because we should be sitting top of that league just now, and because the refereeing decisions, shocking referee and VAR decisions, John, we find ourselves still second in that league table, 2 points behind them after they got beat at Ibrox. That's all the confidence they needed, wasn't it? Celtic losing the points.
No, that's it. That's it, isn't it? Oh, we can go. I think we'll be going over this for a long time, Xander, because this will live long in the memory. That game will live long in the memory. And I'm sure it will live long in the memory. Everybody connected with Celtic, including the players and the board, all the Celtic fans around the world. That will live long in the memory. Anyway, Roseanne says, evil lurks in our games every week. Here's another one. They're not capable of winning games on their own, so they steal points from the rest of Scottish teams. No shame, disgusting people. And then Roseanne had her guesses. She says, chin up, lads. At least we are honest and we can hold our heads high. Couldn't agree more with that, Roseanne. That's perfectly put.
Yeah, I read that comment as well, John, when she sent it. Aye, she bang on. For years we have had to suffer these shocking decisions. When I had my videos on the channel, John, there was a video there about VAR and decision against Celtic. Obviously, I've taken it off, but that was maybe 10 or 20 decisions just in one season when VAR first came in.
Aye, I've seen that video a few times. Aye.
Yeah. So since VAR's came in, it's been the same. So we just need to get on with it, John, and just expect these decisions off referees and VAR.
Aye, get it scrapped. That's what I say. Get it scrapped in Scotland. Don't need it. Get it scrapped in football. We don't need it.
Yeah, but they're not going to scrap it, John. So we just need to accept it, don't we?
Aye. I take it you're against VAR then, because I was kind of 50-50 on it. I thought it might help Celtic with some, because we had always had bad decisions going against us, but it's made things worse for Celtic, to be honest with you.
The simple truth is, we get a VAR decision when we're 2, 3 or 4 nothing up. Then we'll get a good VAR decision and the game's finished. But see, when it's close, it's nothing nature, like the Hearts game at the weekend. Just one example. You're getting nothing.
Aye, I know. But listen, I've got a couple of more comments. We'll blast through this. Don't want to make this too long. It's quite late anyway. But we'll get another couple. Aye, Roseanne, thanks for your comment. But I agree with everything you and Roseanne says, of course, Sander. Paul McComb says, corruption. It stinks of corruption. Trying to get Rodgers out of the Ibrox game. Hail, hail.
Well, that was the first thing we said in the the post-match podcast last week. The very first word we said, what was it? Corruption, wasn't it?
You says, what's the first word that springs to mind? That's what you asked me, and I says corruption. You says exactly.
Yep, so Paul's right. That's corruption. That's it. Bottom line.
Aye. Anyway, thanks for your comment, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
Very last comment here, Xander, before we go into where are they now, and it's Neil Warnock I want to talk about. James Doe.
Your pal.
Aye, James, aye. It steals my part, but I've not heard him using Muttley and all that in a while.
No, he did. He used it in midweek, I think.
Did he? Oh,
he said Parma. He was talking about Parma, I think, obviously, because that's Muttley, but he still uses it, John, so there you go.
Aye, Muttley. I'll tell you what, we may put that lookalike up, Lawrence Shankland, and I says he looked like an Oompa Loompa out of the
chocolate factory.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I was looking up. I was watching the podcast back, and I was looking at that picture you put up on the screen of Shankland. He actually looks like Herman Munster.
He does a bit, actually, didn't he? I'll put that up. Aye, he does.
Is that Herman Munster, aye?
Aye, he does, aye.
That big 10 bob head, know what I mean?
I'll put that up. He's got the sunken eyes and that, hasn't he?
Aye, sunken eyes and the 10 bob head, the high hairline. I don't know if it's a high hairline or just a big head. I don't know, but
that'll be maybe.
We're all having a laugh, Lawrence. Don't worry about it, mate. We date with a lot of players.
That's it.
Anyway,
right,
last comment. Can't get that image in my head, that him and Munster thing, man. Anyway, my pal, James Doran.
Your
James
pal.
said, my
Who's
pal,
it?
he's my mate, no yours.
All right.
Your mate's Collins, isn't it? Oh, you're the best bander. Oh.
Oh, well, at least I've got one. It's better than nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, you're no bad, John, but Xander's the best.
Aye, Colin knows the script, didn't you, son?
Aye. Anyway, we're all having a laugh, Collins and James. Anyway, let's get on. They're good regulars, these boys.
Yeah.
James Doran says it's clear to see that there is an agenda against Celtic, and it's there to see every time Celtic play and are choking for Sevco to win the league. Well, that kind of rounds it off, Xander, for the comments, and I agree with James. Of course, it's no different from what anybody else is saying.
No. Oh, John, they're absolutely 100% choking for them to win this league. And not just the press and the media up here, John, down south as well. You know, sometimes I put on that 5 Live. Do you know 5 Live had a special interview with Stephen Naismith after the Celtic game, John?
Oh, that's nice to win it.
Unbelievable. The wee guy that sent his team out to lie down against one team and battle against another. You know, where's integrity in the game? Where is it? And they've got a special interview on him. Anyway, John. Is that the last comment, mate?
That was the last one. Well, we can't wait till we get wee Milky back at Celtic Park. Anybody that's no seen Me, Myself and Irene, by the way, Milky's one of the characters in it. It's a brilliant film in it, Xander.
Aye, funny. That's Jim Carrey. Aye, good
Jim
film.
Carrey. Wee Milky. That's Stephen Naismith. He looks like Milky in that film.
Aye, but Milky's just a better looking guy, that's all. So.
Well, I wouldn't be hard with it.
All right, John, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for everybody for your comments, by the way. They were good as well. Always good commenters, John. We've got good commenters there.
Aye, brilliant. All the regulars are all brilliant guys. So is everybody. I know Fish and Stevie had a comment and it's no their news, but because of the strike, it might have been deleted unless Stevie deleted it himself.
Right, I'm not sure. I didn't see anything for Fish. Oh, I did see that, John, but there's no comment under it. I did see that. His name is there on the YouTube studio. I clicked in it and there was nothing there, so he must have deleted it or YouTube's deleted it. So Fish and Stevie, get in contact with us, buddy. Let us know what happened there.
Aye. I know you left one on your wee Alan Stubbs video that you put on, but I'm not on that video to read them out. But
Right.
aye. Anyway, sorry about that. Fish and Stevie, your comments no there, mate. I don't know if you deleted it or no, but I was going to read it out, but I can't remember what it says. But anyway, if anybody knows where Neil Warnock is now, let us know in the comments.
Aye, he's on the last bus to Manchester or London or something. And he's gone. He's how many games was he in charge there, John? Four games, and he won one, something like that. Anyway,
he was there for 33 days, if that's any good to you. But aye, he won one game, a few draws.
Don't know what that was all, but don't know. That was a strange one, wasn't it, for Aberdeen? All right, John, the competition. Let's mention it one more time before we go, because this is the last chance, folks. Get your comments in with the first minute. Sorry, not the first minute. The first goal against Livingston on Sunday. So we're looking for the minute and the second of the first goal. 5 guesses each, everybody, remember. So you're getting a great chance here. Leave your guesses in the comments, and good luck to everybody that enters. The prize winner will be announced on the post-match podcast on Sunday.
Fantastic. Great pens, by the way, Xander. They look really good. I really like them.
They're nice, John, and they're solid steel, so they're no plastic. Because the first ones I ordered were plastic, they were no use. I sent them back, and I've ordered the better quality ones because our listeners deserve it. So good luck, everybody, with the competition. Hope you all eventually get one of these pens, but we can only hand out one at a time. Okay, and the last one, obviously, before we go, John, is the 4-week running competition. The Mystery Voices, 2 guesses on each voice. Everybody have a listen.
Of course, because I know few friends who play football here, and I know.
So those European nights were just they're the. It's funny when you retire, right?
So that's your 2 mystery voices, 2 guesses each, everybody, to win the quadruple treble frame print and the quadruple treble DVD box set. We've not got many entries for this, John. So there's still, 2.5 weeks to go on this. So get your entries in the comment section, folks, and good luck.
Aye, the entries will come in nearer the time, Xander, when you're ready to get the prize, I guarantee it. But
yeah.
Aye, and everybody, don't forget, if you're listening, subscribe to the channel, like the video, because we're struggling with the strike on the channel, which is crippling the views. We should be at like 1,200 views per video, but we're only at lucky to get a couple of hundred because of this strike, Xander.
Yeah, that's it, John. They've really hammered us this time because this is the second strike in 6 months, is it? Yeah, second strike in 6 months. There won't be any more strikes after this, folks. This is because we're not putting the videos on anymore. So this is the last strike, and we'll get the channel back up to where it belongs after the strike, John. So yeah, just stay with us, folks, and we'll get things up and running back to normal as soon as possible.
Aye, so you better get in quick to win these pens because there's only a few weeks left in the strike, and then there'll be a lot more people in the competitions.
Yeah, that's it, John. Because when we're getting 1,000 and 2,000, sometimes 3,000 views, there's plenty of entries in the competition, obviously. So yeah, get in where we can just now and get yourself one of these lovely pens. All right, John, that wraps it up. Thanks for coming on tonight, John. I know it's late tonight, so I appreciate that, buddy. And we'll catch you in the morning for the post-match.
I'll see you tomorrow, Xander. Hail, hail, mate.
Hail, hail, John. Thanks for that, and thanks everybody for listening.